Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the best of the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. My father watched Walter Cronkite on the CBS program 20th Century back in the 1960s. That was a Sunday show. Now, I can't remember my father ever talking about old Walt, who was kind of bland. William O'Reilly Sr. preferred the more colorful Mike Wallace on Night Beat. But Cronkite was a titan for CBS News. When he retired 41 years ago, about 28 million Americans tuned in each weekday evening to watch his broadcast. The U.S. population back then was around 200 million. Today, there are 330 million people in America, but only 5 million of them watch the CBS Evening News. So what the deuce happened? Many things, none of them good for television news. First, most electronic news organizations are frightened of the cancel culture. So story selection and actual reporting are cautious, not bold and creative as they should be. Producers and reporters well know they could be fired instantly without any due process should they do something that angers the progressive left. We've all seen false accusations and labels such as racist, misogynist, homophobic, irresponsibly applied to public figures by woke fanatics. It is out of control. The most important point is this: those who run corporate media agencies are not interested in fairness. They simply don't want the cancel guns trained on them. The result is dull news and avoidance of important stories like inner city gun violence, how drug addiction fuels social disorder, and the negative effects of President Biden's open border policy. Cable news also on the decline because it is repetitive and overwhelmingly ideological. Preaching to the choir will not attract a wide audience. In general, the predictability of the presentations on cable news is stupefying. There are exceptions on the networks and on cable, but my general assessment is accurate. I work for CBS, ABC, and Fox News. I know what I'm talking about. The TV news industry is in trouble as revenue is diminishing. It's going into Jurassic Park mode. The dinosaur era is still on display, but a shadow of what it used to be. Back after this. Inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates are skyrocketing, as you know. Market experts like Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, predicting recession. So to protect your future, do what I did. Call the only precious metal dealers I trust, American Hartford Gold. They will show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. You can get started with a short phone call. They will place physical gold and silver right at your door or inside your IRA or 401k. They are the highest rated firm in the country with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Please tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you and they'll give you up to $2,500 of free silver on your first order. Don't wait. You can call them now. 877-444-GOLD. 877-444-GOLD or text GOLD to 65532. Again, 877-444-GOLD or text GOLD to 65532. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Remember that Jethro Tull song, "Let's Bungle in the Jungle"? Well, that's all right by me. No matter how it turns out, the Justice Department bungled its probe into Donald Trump's classified document situation, just like it screwed up Russian collusion, Hillary emails, Hunter Biden, on and on. Somewhere in a very warm place, J. Edgar Hoover is blinking rapidly. We don't know yet how serious the Trump transgression is, but it's safe to say that the raid is a symptom of a much more intense problem facing every single American. The Biden administration is blundering the country into dangerous territory. The president and his crew are creating intense problems and division among the citizenry. Let's examine the record. Unless Donald Trump was actively undermining the security of the nation, the invasion of his home should have been handled differently. Drastic action requires precise explanation, at least in a democracy. We, the people, have not gotten clarity from the Biden administration about the FBI raid. Then we see the painful inflation ignited by the presidential attacks on fossil fuel, the incredible debacle at the southern border, the collapse of the airline industry, and the brutal rise in violent crime. But perhaps the most dangerous federal screw-up of all was Nancy Pelosi's unnecessary trip to Taiwan. Why did she provoke China? For what reason? We don't know. Writing in the journal The National Interest, Harvard professor Graham Allison puts forth, quote, "If forced to choose between accepting an independent Taiwan and a war that destroys Taiwan and much of China, President Xi and his team will choose war," unquote. Allison's opinion is speculative, but he knows as much about China as anyone on the planet. Therefore, competent American leadership does not make the Taiwan situation worse, which is what the Pelosi visit did. What did the United States accomplish? Nothing. That's what. Overall, the anti-Biden narrative is mostly based on his inability to govern in a positive way. He does not solve problems. He may not even understand them. But I now believe Joe Biden is a dangerous president because he cannot anticipate serious situations, of which China is at the top of the list. Under Biden, America is a far weaker country than it was when he entered office. Therefore, we are all in danger. Pelosi sticking Beijing, the FBI battering Trump, millions of foreign nationals sieging the border, gas prices hurting everyone. None of that had to happen, but it has. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. If you would like more honest news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com. And I hope you check out Killing the Killers, still a big bestseller, great summer read. In a moment, something you might not know.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-925-7584 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-925-7584. That's 800-925-7584. What do you have to lose? Call 800-925-7584. Again, 800-925-7584.
Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. For the last decade, the most profitable movies in Hollywood have featured superheroes. In 2019, films based on comic book characters generated $7 billion at the box office. However, the rise of streaming and woke culture is changing that. Warner Brothers announced the studio will shelve the latest installment of the Batman franchise. Here is the story behind the demise of Batgirl. Development for that film dates back to 2018. Executives at Warner Brothers worked to update the character. Filmmakers hired a diverse cast and began shooting in Scotland. After spending a whopping $90 million, the film was shown to audiences for the first time a few weeks ago, and most of them hated it. Fans called the movie dull, irredeemable, flat out stupid. That was the preview audience. The studio agreed. Bosses at Warner Brothers decided to cut and run. They scrapped plans to release the movie in theaters and on streaming. Some far-left critics say the movie was canceled because of its minority cast and female lead. Wrote NBC News, quote, "The killing off of Batgirl was a senseless blow to diverse comic fans," unquote. According to the studio, it was simply a matter of money, as everything is in that world. Warner Brothers recently merged with Discovery. The new CEO, David Zaslav, immediately promised to cut costs and canceled CNN Plus right off the bat. That was a $300 million streaming platform. And Zaslav cut it 3 days after it launched. Now, Batgirl is the latest casualty by Warner Brothers Discovery. And here is their statement. We're not going to put out a movie to make any money, and we're not going to put out a movie unless we believe in it. And here's something else you might not know. Fans of Batgirl will likely never see the footage. For tax purposes, the studio wrote off the film. It's a complete financial loss. If the movie was ever released, Warner Brothers would have to pay millions in penalties to the IRS. Back after this. Things are tough in the USA right now. Gas prices up 59%, food prices up 10%, and have you taken a look at your cable bill recently? Some of us are paying more than $150 a month. That's why I am excited about the streaming platform Vidgo, VIDGO. Vidgo gives you the freedom to be entertained at a price you can afford. Vidgo has all my favorite live sports networks. They have a great choice of news programming, including The First, Newsmax, OAN, Fox News. Vidgo also has more than 100 channels of entertainment. All of that for just $59 a month for the base package, $79 a month for premium. You deserve the freedom to be entertained at a price you and your family can afford. So please sign up at vidgo.com/Bill. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.